Voi avete immaginato di chiedere di rinunciare all'Expo?
Sì, per noi è un'opera che non si deve fare. Per noi è un'opera che non si deve fare.
Bono parlerà dal palco insieme a Renzi, entrambi cercheranno di sensibilizzare la comunità internazionale sul tema degli aiuti. L'incontro di oggi infatti è stato pensato per supportare le iniziative del World Food Programme, l'agenzia delle Nazioni Unite che si occupa proprio dei temi dell'alimentazione.
L'Expo, un altro sogno, nessuno sa cos'è, nessuno sa cosa succederà a Rho. I milanesi non vanno mai a Rho, figurati se uno di Singapore va a Rho. Guardi, non c'è un c***o, cosa guardo? C'è niente, c'è un campo, 4 pezzi di cemento, guardi, qui ci verranno 2 milioni di persone, ma chi è che viene a Rho?
Alla chiusura c'era chi non voleva uscire.
Cosa dobbiamo fare? Farci portare via sotto il culo pensando a una mostra internazionale nel posto più brutto del mondo? Altro che andare avanti con questa puttanata qua, perché è una grandissima puttanata.
Possiamo quindi iniziare la nostra serata, credo noi si possa salutare con un applauso l'arrivo di Madame Ertharin, del Primo Ministro della Repubblica Italiana Matteo Renzi e di Bono.
Allow me at the outset to express my gratitude to both the Italian and Irish Ministers of Agriculture and the administration of EXPO for organizing this event, for inviting me to participate in the campaign of ending hunger in the world and in support of humanitarian work of the World Food Programme.
Ciao bella gente, you can use the expression, ciao bella gente, ciao bella gente.
Allora, we have a few questions for you. And at the end, our Prime Minister will have the time for his speech. Madam Cousin, you often talk about the link between food and security and the fact that hunger drives conflict and conflict drives hunger. Based on your experience, what are the most effective actions to achieve peace and food security?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity to be here tonight. Let me tell you how good you all look here tonight. Let me hear your voices for Bono being here to help us create public will. When we talk about peace and ending hunger, at the base of peace is food security. The ability for people to feed their families, the ability for a child to go to school with a full stomach, the ability for a mother to know that she can provide the nutrition that will ensure that her child can live life to its fullest mentally and physically. And without that, without those abilities, we cannot have peace. Gandhi said to a hungry person, a piece of bread is the face of God. So if you do not have that piece of bread, whoever provides it is your God. And so when we have so many, over 795 million people who are food insecure today, we know that without that piece of bread, we cannot have peace. And so we know we can end hunger. It requires the public will. It requires your voices, which is why I am so pleased that Bono has agreed to participate with us here tonight, because you are all here as a result. And when we have your voices providing the public will, will ensure that we provide the base that is necessary, ending hunger, and then we can achieve peace.
Mr. Bono, we want to start with these words, your words. We like to get stuff done. They are the sign of a concrete daily engagement aimed at solving problems. The world suffering from hunger and poverty is watching us, is listening to us. Can this challenge be overcome?
Good evening. Ciao bella gente. These are big questions. Can we fix the problem of hunger in the world? Can we fix the problem of poverty in the world? Can we fix the problem of conflict in the world? Well, on the first two out of those three, I can speak with confidence when I say yes, absolutely. There is already enough food in this world to feed the world. It is not the lack of food, but the lack of will to distribute the food that is the problem. I'm very moved, as a lot of you are, by the work of the World Food Programme. But like Minister Coveney was saying, it is extraordinary that every year they have to wait on funding on a case-by-case basis for them to be able to do their job. It is extraordinary to me that in the middle of a refugee crisis, when the World Food Programme are doing incredible work in Jordan, that they are cutting the program in Jordan because they can't find funds. That is politically unacceptable to everybody under this sky this evening, and we say we'll not let that continue on, and we want to see a change in that, and I know the Prime Minister feels the same. So this is not good enough, and the Italian people or the Irish people will not have it. So as regards conflict, there is a relationship here. And if you look across, for example, North Africa, and you see this geological phenomenon they call the Sahel, right across North Africa, you see the combination of extreme climate, extreme poverty, and extreme ideology. These three extremes are creating a lot of problems. And if you see on a map where all the problems have been from Al-Shabaab in Somalia, right the way through to Boko Haram in Nigeria, all the way along, you see these three extremes. I would suggest it's a political imperative for Europe now to deploy expertise and resources to prevent some of the fires, because it's cheaper to prevent fires than to put them out later. And it now has to be a political priority of us to deal with what's happening on the continent of Africa. And I think if we do that, we have a better chance at dealing with extreme poverty and extreme hunger. They are all interrelated, is the answer to your question.
Mr. Bono, yesterday in Turin, you said, anger is about feeling abandoned, just not about politics. The injustice in the world is an expression of an injustice which occurred to you as an individual. For winning the fight against hunger, anger could be useful. Are we enough angry?
You feel angry. I'm very, very, very angry about the waste of this woman's talent. This is an extraordinary woman. She's an actual hero. I'm just a rock star. She's an actual hero. And I get angry when I see her have to take a begging bowl and go to the 150 countries that are represented in the EXPO, and she has to ask them, can she have some money so that she feeds the people who are depending on her. That makes me angry. And I can use my anger to quote my old idol, Johnny Rotten. Anger is an energy. Anger is an energy. If you use it positively, it can be a great thing. I'm going to try and use it positively.
The last question, Mr. Bono. Europe is going through rogue times. There are hundreds of thousands of people escaping war and poverty and pouring into our countries. You said yesterday, we have no answer. There is just a thing we are aware of. They are not migrants. They are people escaping from war and death. They are refugees. We'll be able to provide them all with the assistance they need.
Right. Well, it's important to understand we should not use the word migrant. Migrant is a political word that is used to take away the real status of these people. They are refugees. They are running from war. And they actually liked their homes, and they're not leaving their homes because they want to live in Italy or they want to live in Ireland. They're leaving their homes because they don't have any homes. And so we won't use the word migrant anymore. I have been a migrant. Lots of Irish people have been migrants, haven't they, Simon? And we're rather good at being migrants. But it's a different thing. And I want to applaud some leadership that happened, because when Prime Minister Renzi stepped out and said this is the moral obligation of Europe and of Italy, lots of people in this country went, what's he talking about? This is not, I'm not sure. Now, after Angela Merkel has followed suit and shown incredible leadership from Germany, now the Prime Minister Renzi looks like he was the sane person in an insane climate that he faced in the media here. So I want to thank you, sir, for your leadership on the refugee crisis.
Questo signore andò al congresso del Labour Party e disse una frase per me bellissima. Scherzando, io ho detto che dovrei pagargli il copyright, perché l'ho utilizzata per tutta la mia esperienza politica. Lui disse a Tony Blair e a Gordon Brown: voi siete i depositari dei sogni della gente. Allora io vorrei che noi prendessimo un impegno col World Food Programme, ma più in generale con ciascuno di noi. Nei prossimi 2 anni l'Italia dovrà fare tante cose: far tornare a crescere il PIL, far ripartire l'economia, affrontare le questioni delle riforme, ok. Ma dobbiamo anche tornare ad essere gli italiani, quelli che sono fieri quando un bambino viene fatto partorire su una nave della Marina Militare, quelli che sono orgogliosi del terzo settore e del lavoro del volontariato, e quelli che credono che l'Africa non sia un problema ma la grande sfida per i prossimi anni. Lo faremo insieme, grazie a tutti voi e grazie a EXPO. Noi siamo pieni di gente in Italia che nel raccontare che va tutto sempre comunque male, alla fine non si ricorda più nemmeno le previsioni che ha fatto. Cioè, se io guardo le previsioni di quelli che sono stati negativi nel giudizio sull'Italia degli ultimi mesi, potrei fare un elenco che inizia e ora finisce domattina. Ho sentito dire contro l'Italia le cose più inaudite, però vi voglio far vedere cosa diceva un autorevole statista dell'EXPO soltanto qualche mese fa. La parola al noto statista Beppe Grillo.
Su questa roba dell'Expo non sapevo neanche cosa dire, sono arrivati tutti lì, tutti molto discreti, molto educati, tutti col cappellino, sono il capo ingegnere, buongiorno, guardi, non c'è un cazzo, cosa guarda, c'è niente, c'è un campo, 4 pezzi di cemento, guardi, qui ci verranno 2 milioni di persone, ma chi è che viene a Rho? Ditemi! Ho chiesto a Milano, sei mai andato a Roma? Mai, mi toglierei i coglioni per andare a Roma.
Diceva questo, era il 15 marzo 2015, 6 mesi fa. Chi ci andrà a Roma? Se aprite i giornali di oggi non riesco ad entrare, ci sono 3 ore e mezzo per entrare nei padiglioni.